about who won. But it does look very positive. It looks like he ran a very good campaign, and it looks like obviously the American people responded to his messages and in a very positive way. But you know, there are a lot of Americans who responded very positively to Governor Romney's leadership and his messages. So the goal now is to unite the country. And I think when you see the speeches, whenever they come, the concession speech and the speech of the victor, I think you'll see that theme that we need to come together now as a people and unite behind the next leadership to re-energize our political system. And that's what comes out of an election like this. You know, I think we're doing so much, and we've made so much progress in increasing the understanding between our cultures, our peoples, our religions. You know, we have tremendous people-to-people exchange programs that have grown in recent years with Malaysia specifically, but with other countries as well. We have programs promoting scientific exchange. So we just had a visit here of a science fellow following up on the visit of President Obama's science envoy, working on linking up our scientific communities. There are so many ways that the understanding is building, and I've seen lots of progress. So I think we'll continue that path, whatever happens in our elections. President Obama has demonstrated leadership that people feel confident in. I think he's demonstrated a domestic policy and a foreign policy that, as I say, people have responded to. I think people have a lot of respect for him, for his integrity, for his leadership being steady and addressing needs of people both within the United States and our relationships around the world. And I think, frankly, we've made a lot of progress in the last few years, particularly in our relationships in Asia, and maybe especially in Southeast Asia, where we're focusing on ASEAN, where President Obama will attend the second East Asia Summit in Cambodia this time. He attended last year in Bali. First time ever we've had that level of engagement with ASEAN. And the East Asia Summit. So I think you're going to see more of that, and I think the American people, that's what they want for their future.
I think that a lot of the things that President Obama and his team have done over the last 4 years have really helped middle-class Americans and helped people who need some help from the government. I think that that people recognize that there have been some difficulties for him, both in having Republicans in the Congress that he hasn't worked with so well. So people aren't very happy with some of the exchange between the Republicans and Democrats. But I think people are still optimistic about the future and the work that he can do. I think that probably did help his image as being a leader and being someone who could be decisive and someone who's reliable in times of crisis. I think, unfortunately, whoever is president, whenever a crisis like that happens and lots of people face those challenges, I think it helps whoever happens to be. Obviously, for George Bush, when 9/11 happened back in 2001, obviously that was a very important rallying point for the country behind the president, even if you're a Democrat or a Republican. So a lot of times crisis solidifies a leader's lead.
Ya, kekuatannya ialah dia boleh dikatakan seorang yang jujur. Dia tidak akan memberi satu jaminan yang dia tak dapat menunaikan. Apa yang Presiden Obama telah buat ialah untuk mengatasi beberapa masalah ekonomi yang diwarisi daripada Parti Republikan Presiden Bush. Dan masalah-masalah ini paling besar seperti krisis kewangan global. Bukan pembuatan Presiden Obama, tetapi dia perlu menangani ini dan mengurangkan defisit budget dan juga defisit perdagangan antara Amerika Syarikat dan China dan antara Amerika Syarikat dengan negara-negara lain, yaitu memperteguhkan lagi daya saing ekonomi Amerika dengan kuasa-kuasa lain, kuasa-kuasa ekonomi lain.